when I met her, I said to you that I like her, but I also told you she doesn't like me back.
Sex was not the issue for me. You want to ignore the emotional cheating and just focus on the fact that you didn't physically.
What's emotional cheating? What emotional? Yeah.
But it didn't move forward because she wouldn't allow it to. If she liked you back, it would have went further. It did not move forward because of me and your feelings for me. See,
met her, you and I, we haven't even met in person at that time. Like, I was not sure that this was going to work. The distance, everything was against us.
You know, I still can't fathom how these two are back on this show. Nor can I fathom why they are still together, which is why I can't fathom why they are back on the show, because I don't know why they are still together. You know, because you're telling me that originally, before marriage, when they were together on a long distance, on an online basis, shall I say, before meeting, Carlos found a way to fall for someone else at the time who happened to be a woman. Okay. But then that happened. The woman rejected him. So therefore he continued to pursue his relationship with Valentine. So it's interesting how the conversation here doesn't have anything to do with the fact that Carlos was actually cheating on Valentine emotionally with somebody else. But that's just problem number one. Okay. Now, we fast forward to the previous season where, of course, Carlos and Valentine do eventually meet for the first time. So now they've met, and this whole Michelle thing has already been a thing. But yet the whole of last season, this is what I'm going to say, was based on Carlos not wanting Valentine to bring in a third person into a relationship because he did not believe that two people, that you can have feelings for two people at the same time. Meanwhile, previously he had already had that anyway. He had feelings for Michelle as well as Valentine. So I'm interested in how that's quite contradictory, if you dig what I'm saying. Then we're also in another situation where Valentine has known this whole time, but he still proceeded to propose to Carlos anyway. So now they're engaged, and I quote when Carlos says, "We are now in a different place than we was back then. We're now engaged and we're now set to get married." Okay, but why would Valentine proposed to Carlos, knowing that Carlos had already had his heart set elsewhere and knowing that he was basically second choice? Why bring it up now on the following season, which means it's like a year or two after the original situation that happened anyway? You see how this just doesn't make any sense? Which is why I asked the question, how are these two, one, still together, and two, why are they back for another season when clearly their whole storyline is a calamity? And now we're in a situation where Michelle wasn't even mentioned in the last season, but now she's a topic in this season? Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting. No, that's a lie. It's not interesting. It's just pathetic. But we continue.
I was okay with meeting Michelle, and if she's cool, that's fine. If not, and I don't feel comfortable, then she just won't be coming to the wedding.
It's interesting how this turns out because he said that she's not coming to the wedding.
I mean, that's petty. That's immature. Like, that girl needs to wait for you to approve if she goes or not to the wedding.
That was our agreement.
It's just funny what Carlos finds to be immature, what he finds to be petty. It is very interesting.
I don't want that agreement. I already invite her.
It's crazy because at the very beginning of this season, one of the first things that Carlos said was that each time Valentine comes to see me, we always end up in an argument. So why are you still together? Why are you still getting married? Ah, because they love each other, right? It's just funny though, because for me personally, you can't tell me that Valentine has been loyal this whole time neither. I don't think any one of them two even know what loyalty even is, to be honest with you. I think they both literally, you know, they both literally bend someone over like when they're not together, to be honest with you. You know, that's just the reality of it. But anyway, we continue.
But let's do this. I'm gonna tell her not to go to the wedding. But I don't want any of your friends to go to the wedding either.
My friends bought tickets already and booked.
I don't care. As the same, you don't care. I don't care.
It's interesting because Carlos spoke about pettiness. He spoke about pettiness, but who's being petty now?
IKEA, they coming.
They comment too. I get. They
They
comment.
don't speak to me. None of them better not speak to me.
I will do the same.
Anytime, any situation.
Like, can we just not? Can we just get these two removed of the show now? Like, honestly, the argument is pathetic. I feel like I'm back in school and I'm watching two people in the playground having a flipping argument over like the most dumbest thing ever. When in reality, it's like it's common sense how you can solve it. Like, let's just understand. This is two grown freaking men, right? I feel like watching two boys.
It's nothing is going on. Nothing is going on. ¿Cuándo lo vas a entender?
That felt so freaking staged, not gonna lie to you. Nothing is going on! Grow up, man.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Because I made my decision, and that's just it.
Well, in typical Carlos and Valentine's fashion, somebody's got to storm off, haven't they? I mean, to be fair, it's always Carlos, more or less from what I remember from last season. I have nothing else to add because what else can I add? Like, hands down the most pathetic couple of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. There's no progression going forward to them. There was never any progression in the beginning of their relationship anyway, because Carlos already had his heart set for another woman anyway. It's just that simple. We get into a stage of now having the wedding, and now we're saying that he and she is not allowed to go to the wedding. And now we got a grown man screaming like a baby. Like, what's going on here? And then storming off like a penguin. Like, what's going on here? It's just crazy because the argument is so freaking. It's annoying because the whole storyline is so contradictory. The timeline makes no sense, and also on top of that, throughout the filming of this season, I even made a video about how Carlos had then been flirting with another cast member from I Love Mama's Boy. And Valentine was very aware of all that stuff anyway. So I want to know how did they overcome that? So we've now got a girl involved. We also got Carlos flirting with another man from another show. You know what I mean? So why is Valentine still with him? You can't make sense out of no sense. And the reality is that when it comes to these two, common sense is not something that exists, and respect definitely does not exist with these two. Because if it did, they would have a far better way of communicating. The communicating is so poor, it's just sad to watch. It is tragic to watch. I said this before and I say it again. And a gay man once said to me, it's better to be gay than straight, because at least when you're dating another man, you understand each other more than you are when you're dating a woman. This was a gay guy who was trying to, manipulate me, because, he had a whole thing about, straight men can have fun with gay men and not be gay. Like, I was like, yeah, bro, just stop that nonsense. A spaghetti isn't straight into your boiler. I was like, bro, calm yourself down. But either way, though, this is living proof that clearly it doesn't matter what type of relationship you are in this world, whether it's a man and man, woman and woman, or man and woman, or whatever type of relationships are in the world, problems will still exist regardless. That's the bottom line. Either way, though, you guys let me know what you're thinking and we'll talk about it. Boom.